Welcome to the AQA Technical Awards Guide. For this task, we're going to look at the integrating the multimedia elements into a website. We're going to need to be able to create web pages to host the multimedia content that we've made previously. We're going to need to integrate the elements within this web page. And finally, we're going to use the CSS or cascading style sheets to control the formatting and layout of the multimedia elements. Well, let's take a look at how we're going to do this. The first way that we're going to produce our website is to use our in-house bespoke system via the Frog platform. Now, we don't have to use this way, and there is an alternative which we'll show at the end when we start looking at CSS. But for now, this makes it a pretty simple task to produce some bespoke web pages. To do that, I'm going to open up an internet browser and log into Frog. On my landing page at Frog, I want to be able to produce a new site. So I'll click on my Frog drive and I'll see that I have an option of sites on the left hand side. I'll have a variety of different websites here if I've made some previously, but we want a brand new site. So I'll click on new site. I can then enter the details that I need. I'm going to start with a blank template, and I think for this task I'm going to name it Pet Shop. I can add a brief description of a site if I wish, and I'm going to go through to the themes part. Again, a variety of themes that I can scroll along. I'm going to settle for this first one here, and if I wanted to I could change an icon, and I might perhaps put the words Pet Shop. Any theme, any icon, absolutely up to you for which you choose. Finally, I can add some tags and some keywords which will go within the metadata when I search for the site via Frog, and I could put some keywords here such as Pet Shop, Task 5, Dog, Cat, any keywords that I think are relevant for people to be able to find my site and for me perhaps to find it later. I'm then going to create the site. At this point, we're given our blank template to work from. And it's the template that I chose, the theme specifically with these 3 characters, but nothing else is currently on the site. We're choosing the edit button from Frog. I have some tabs which have different settings. I'm going to start by looking at the Pages tab. I can give this specific page a name, and I might call this the home page. This might be the first page where someone that visits my website lands on. I can choose the layout. I might feel that this particular layout here with a big horizontal box and 2 under where I can populate with materials is something that will look quite nice. Many options there. I can display the page in the menu, which is what I'm going to do. I could change the backgrounds if I so wish. A few different things that we can touch through. In the settings side, again I can change the whole name of the site. I've called it my Pet Shop, but again that could vary. I can look at changing my background. I could either upload a picture, look on the drive of previously uploaded pictures, or look on the internet for certain images. I think in this case I might want a forest background as I'm in the forest. I think something like this looks pretty good, so I think I'll use it. And then I've got my forest background for my homepage. Again, many more options to choose from, and I can edit the tags and the keywords that I did previously. Finally, we come to the widgets part. Now within Frog, the widgets allow you to add certain media or text, amongst a huge number of other things. Well, I'm going to start with adding some text. So I'm going to scroll down to the text button, and I'm going to place this in the top landing part of the page. I'm going to click into it and I'm going to add some text. Something brief for now. I'm simply going to say welcome to my pet store. I hope you enjoy. Now, with this task, it's best to take your time and to really think what you're going to need on your particular site and how you can present it. For me, I might select that information, I might center it. I might want to change the bold, I might want to underline it. I might want to change the font size or the font itself. All sorts of different things that I can change until I'm happy with it. And clicking away takes me back to how it's going to look. Well, at this stage, I now need to add some of the multimedia content that I made from earlier. It's quite simple to do. First of all, I'd like to add some media. Within Frog, it's made really simple. There's a media button. So I can drag the media button into a variety of different places, wherever I think I'm going to add my media. And these can be deleted or moved at a later point. When I'm happy with where my media is going to go to, I now need to go into each particular one and choose what it is that I actually want to be shown. So for example, in this first tab, I think I want the picture that I used in the Photoshop task of It's Raining Cats and Dogs. I'm going to upload my picture. I can choose my file. I've saved it in somewhere quite useful on the desktop where I've got easy access to it. You might need to look through your particular area to where you saved your files. And when I get there, there's my final image that I made previously. It's going to upload and then I can hit done. And here's my image. I can change the size of it if I wish, if I didn't want it particularly big, I wanted it larger. Or perhaps I actually might want to completely get rid of it because I don't like the look of it there. What in fact I now want to do, in hindsight, is place that picture underneath my original text because I want it full screen. And so now I'm going to upload the picture again, but this time it's going to be in the central position, taking up a little bit more space. And I think that's just how I want it. Now I've got a few other boxes here. Actually, I don't want this to be too messy, so I'm going to get rid of one of them. I think in this one, I'm going to upload the GIF that I made during my animation project. So I'm going to open that up and place it in. And there's the GIF that we made moving around. Well, finally, I think I'm going to add a little bit of the audio that we made in the previous task. So I'm going to upload the edited T-Rex audio file. And I might give some instructions for that particular person who comes to our website to play it. So I might put some text underneath. And I might simply say click above to hear a T-Rex. Well, I'm happy with that general outlay of my first page, so I'm going to save those changes. At this stage, I think I want another tab to my website, a different page. So I'm going to click on the plus button, and here's my new page, and I'm going to call this one Movies. And again, I'm going to choose my layout. I could have a variety of different ones. I'm going to keep it simple this one. I just want one big area. Going to my widget, and again, choosing media, I'm going to drag through, and clicking on the media, I'm going to upload the movie that I edited from a previous task. Quite a big file, so it takes a little time to go through. And when it's there, I can save this particular page, I can press the X, and I can see what my pages will look like. I can test my media, and I notice that it's playing as it previously did. and I'm happy with that. I can go back to my home button. I can see the text that I put in and all the different multimedia elements that I've added. And I'm just going to check that they're all working. So that's our simple website made. We've got a couple of web pages and we put the multimedia content as required. Now clearly the design of my particular page needs a little bit of working on. The text here actually isn't particularly clear. I need to think about that. And I might actually want some more web pages within my website. I've got my movies tab, but perhaps I want more content about my pet shop itself. It's your task, and it's something that you need to take your time and invest in. But that's the basics of making our own initial pet shop. Now that's going through our bespoke Frog site, which allows custom pages to be built within the school. If we don't have access to that, we need to use a different piece of generic software, and we need to build up our web page from the ground up. We need to look at this in the final task because this is where we're going to begin to look into CSS, the cascading style sheets. So initially, as a generic web page, this is where we can start, but we're now going to look into a little bit more depth, and this is for part 2.